After consolidating his power over Greece, Alexander the Great set his sights on the eastern Mediterranean. At the time, the Persian Empire was the dominant power in the east, and it stretched from modern-day Iran to parts of Central Asia and Anatolia. Alexander had an opportunity to challenge the Persian king Darius III and establish his own empire. He launched his invasion in 334 BC, and over the next few years he would engage in several battles and ultimately defeat the Persians, solidifying his position as one of the greatest military leaders in history. One of the key factors in Alexander's success in the eastern Mediterranean was his ability to adapt to local conditions and cultures. He recognized that Persia was not a monolithic entity, but instead was made up of a diverse range of peoples, each with their own traditions and customs. Rather than imposing his own Greek culture on the Persians, Alexander sought to embrace their way of life, and in doing so won over many local leaders and their followers. One of his most notable victories in the region came at the Battle of Issus in 333 BC. Here, Alexander was able to maneuver his troops to outflank the larger Persian army led by Darius III, effectively cutting off their supply lines and forcing them to retreat. This battle proved to be a turning point in the war, as it demonstrated Alexander's tactical genius and his ability to take on much larger armies. In the aftermath of his victory at Issus, Alexander continued his campaign across the eastern Mediterranean. He captured the cities of Tyre and Gaza, both of which were strongly fortified and considered impregnable. It was in this campaign that Alexander demonstrated his ruthless side, as he ordered the killing of many of the city's inhabitants and sold many others into slavery. Despite this brutality, Alexander was still able to win the support of many local leaders. In particular, he earned the loyalty of the Persians by respecting their customs and traditions. He adopted many of their practices, such as wearing Persian dress and performing Persian rituals, and he even married a Persian princess, Roxana. Alexander's campaign in the eastern Mediterranean came to an end in 323 BC, when he died at the age of 32. However, his legacy would live on, as he had built an empire that spanned from Greece to India. His conquests would have a lasting impact on world history, as the Hellenistic period that followed was characterized by a blending of Greek and Eastern cultures. Alexander the Great's conquest of the eastern Mediterranean was a remarkable achievement that demonstrated his military genius and his ability to adapt to different cultures. By defeating the Persians and capturing much of their empire, he established himself as one of the greatest conquerors of all time. His approach to governance, which emphasized the importance of adapting to local customs rather than imposing one's own culture, remains relevant today and serves as an important lesson in leadership.